The Jamaica Public Service Company (JPS) recently announced an approximately 44% increase in complaints of high bills between April and March 2020 compared to the same period last year. The utility provider says this is as a result of the depreciation of the Jamaican dollar, fuel costs, and rising usage thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic and more persons staying at home. Constant complaints prompted the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Fayval Williams, to instruct the Office of Utilities Regulation (OUR) to conduct an audit of JPS. Jamaicans were subsequently informed that theft accounts for just about 26% of electricity generated. Of that amount, JPS pays 6%, and paying consumers share the loss of that 20%. But what if there was a solution? There just might be. Let's talk to Oswald Smith about his light bill tracker app. This is Oswald Smith, the programmer and software developer who created the light bill tracker app. Creating the application took him just a few weeks. His reason for doing so? Personal interest.
With this heat, I'm always running my fan, my air conditioning, and as you might imagine, the light bills, they do have some amount of sticker shock on them. Now, the prime mover though was a conversation I had on Twitter with this guy, Randy Rowe. He does financial classes. Every Mickler, exactly, and the grower classes. So he put it out there, why doesn't someone just build an app, to help us estimate our light bills? And, I'm an app developer. I thought to myself, actually, why doesn't someone go out and do it? So, I was still busy doing other projects, but then about a few weeks later, got up early one morning and said, let's do this. And here's Light Bill Tracker.
Oswald thinks the app adds some transparency to the Jamaican bill paying process.
Well, it's very topical. Listen, light bills, even since I was young, light bills are always something very, very contentious. People say, oh, I can't believe I was away for the entire month. I'm going on a foreign on vacation. How am I getting this light bill for 100,000? And it's been very topical now because we had just recently the Attorney General weighing in on Twitter saying that she got an unexpected light bill. So it was a circulating in the zeitgeist that, hey, something is going on with our light bills, people want to know, and here was my opportunity to add a bit of transparency, if you will, to the entire situation.
So what exactly does the application do though?
Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin, Light Bill Tracker. You can use it to estimate what your light bill is at any point within your billing period.
But how do I get it to work?
Once you have the app installed, and it's available for both iOS and Android platforms, all you'll need are two pieces of information. The first one is your previous light bill. And so on that light bill, there's a current reading. You'll enter that into the app. The second thing you need is what your current usage is, and you can get that by reading your smart meter. You put those in, then that gives you your usage. And from the usage, we can calculate what your light bill is at the point of that last reading.
Now that we know how it works, does it do so well enough? Oswald says yes.
In my testing, it's been 99.6% accurate. And because remember, there really is only one input to what determines your light bill, and that's your usage. So once we have good numbers for your usage, we can estimate it for you. There is some variance because from month to month, the foreign exchange rate, that will change, and that's an input as well. But in practice, I found it off by about maybe $100 from my past 2 billing periods.
And JPS's thoughts on the app?
So I've reached out to the OUR about it. I suppose it's still doing their internal stuff. I know that JPS is aware of it. I can't say much more beyond that.
Calls to the utility provider for comment went unanswered. The Light Bill Tracker app is currently being reviewed by Google and Apple, so you won't be able to find it by typing the name in your app store just yet. Oswald is already thinking of the future, however, and additions to be made to the Light Bill Tracker app.
So as it stands right now, the app shows you the estimate as of today. And if if tomorrow morning you put in your updated meter reading, it's another estimate. And so it's not storing the history of your estimates over the month. So we're going to be doing two things. One, allowing you to track your estimates over the billing period so that you can go throughout the days when you took a meter reading and say, well, okay, last week Saturday it was my bill was so and so. The Sunday it was this, Monday it was that. Also, another thing we want to do is projecting, because remember we said that the estimate shows you what it's estimated at the point of the meter reading. However, what we can do, knowing what your last bill was and your estimate is as of now, we can kind of get a sort of daily average of your usage, and using that we can project out toward the end of your billing cycle.
Oswald Smith is no stranger to app development or even fanfare as a result of his creations. In 2015, he wrote a program that allows commuters to access the Jamaica Urban Transit Company's bus schedules and routes on smartphones, laptops, and computers using Google Transit. Here's Oswald's advice to persons interested in programming and software development.
Start now. Listen, you're here in my home. It's not a fancy thing. You can stay at home, you can learn to code. It has never been easier. I started learning to program in 1999 it was. My father went overseas, he came back, brought back a laptop, and I watched movies. I wanted to be a hacker. How can I hack the FBI and the CIA? And I literally typed in, and this was before Google at the time, because it's 99. It was probably Alta Vista or some site, how to be a hacker. And they said you have to learn programming. Okay, I guess I'm gonna learn programming. And so I learned programming since I was in grade 9 at St. Mary High. And this is what, a couple of decades later, almost 2 decades later, here I am. So you can start now.
There are also local entities that can assist.
I know there are quite a few. There are some, I think, a few tech boot camps. There's some people, especially for the young ladies as well. There's like a few local groups around for girls who code and that sort of thing. So there has never been an easier time to start. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection.
Oswald's favorite part of this all? Interacting with the users.
What's good about app development, especially apps like this that are in the public eye, you get a lot of feedback from users, and there's no greater reward than people sending you the screenshots. Hey, I use the app and I got this. One gentleman he told me that after 2 days he realized that his light bill was going to be $11,000 and he doesn't know what he's going to do right now. So it's a whole thing. So you do get a lot of feedback from users, and it's very rewarding.